Hi everybody, welcome to the Frog Pond. Swag Frog here today, and today we've got another special guest. I'll be talking with my good friend and fellow content creator, though not for SWGOH, he does create content for other video games. I'll have a link for his channel in the description. We've got Draldrond today.
Yeah, I'm really proud you got that pronunciation right. Yeah, my name is Dralderon, but you can call me Dral for short because it is very hard to say. I am, like he said, a content creator. I mainly do some Minecraft and recently Elden Ring, but I'll play pretty much any game I feel like it. And yeah, I recently got into SWGOH, and he's been my kind of just moral support to get playing so he can have someone to talk to about it.
I mean, I've got plenty of people to talk to it thanks to good old Discord. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about just sort of little bumps in the road for people who are newer in the game. Just stuff that might be a little bit confusing, just ways to navigate, pretty much everything like that. That's just sort of a struggle for newer people.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to preface with your first little question that you got.
Yeah, when I first downloaded the game, I saw all the characters I could get, and my first question was, who do I play? Who do I get? And at the time, I joined in during the Bad Batch character event, and that thing gave me the entire team right off the bat. And so far, they've been carrying me since I started. They are still my main team on the light side. So that.
Most definitely. They're a fantastic team. Even at low gear without too much investment, they can do really well. But I feel like it's super important for you to start out with the team that you want to play. Something that seems fun or appealing to you, a character that you want to farm. Just play the game in the way that you want it to be played. If you want that to be the most efficient route, then by all means take it to be the most efficient route. Or just farm something that you like.
Hey, to be fair, I do like the Bad Batch.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're super cool. I mean, the show is great, so. And also they do help build up into Lord Vader, which I knew that you said was something that you wanted to look at somewhat soon.
Yeah, he's probably going to be a possible before Darth Revan character, because
I don't
that's
know
who
about
I'm going
before
for.
Darth Revan. Lord Vader is a struggle.
Jeez, I'm scared then.
I mean, he is a galactic legend. He's got one of the higher gear investments, so he's going to take a minute, but, you know, it'll be
Hey,
fun.
that long-term goal.
Exactly. And that's kind of a lot of the fun about the game, is instead of like the instant gratification of a lot of different games, SWGOH does it in a much more slow burn style where you can just get like little achievements along the way, you know, and progress towards this huge goal that you've been working for a long time. And that's kind of a really satisfying aspect to it.
Yeah, I got up to mods, and I was like, holy crap, I can actually start doing damage now.
I know, the dramatic difference in your character stats is certainly there. Anyways, let's go on to your next point. What do you got?
At the time, if you remember, I full-on asked you, how do I get more shards? Because that, at the time, was so confusing to me. I had
Yeah.
to the way you explain it to me is the characters I have to unlock through the light side and dark side battles in order to literally unlock their little mission that has the shards. And understand, admittedly, that took me forever to find, but I had to work, got to them, and so far I've been just hard focusing them so I can get the characters I'm using up. Because, like you said, I've got to focus one team so I'm not overwhelming myself immediately. So that's kind of been where I'm at with
Absolutely.
shards.
Just making sure that you're doing those hard mode battles and getting as far as you can as early in the game as you can is super important. And another thing to go along with that is make sure that you're bookmarking your characters. Just click this little button right here next to the little 3 characters icon to bookmark your characters. It just makes farming your shards a little bit different, or a little bit easier. And you
Oh
can
yeah,
find them really easy, find their location just by clicking on the character right there. And then you can just sim the battle or find wherever it needs to be. Like this one's on 4D, so if you haven't unlocked it yet, then you know when you can unlock it and how far in the hard mode battle you need to go for like Iden Versio or something like that.
it's helped a lot. with figuring out what my game plan is.
It also helps minimize time, because instead of like searching through your character roster to see who you want, you got all these characters bookmarked, and then you can just hit the side arrow to go to the next one, grab shards, so forth and so forth. So what do you got next?
I've noticed that we just keep getting crystals, and I don't know what to use them on other than what I keep seeing in the store, and I guess XP. And I kind of want your opinion on where I should be using those.
So the most proper allocation of crystals, the number one place you want to be spending them primarily, first and foremost, is always energy. Basic energy is the most important one for you to farm first, and usually for earlier players I'd recommend just doing your 350 crystal refreshes. You get 3 refreshes for 50 crystals. After that it's 100 and then 200. I wouldn't really dip into much of that. That's kind of something that you might do later game during a chase event or something like that, but you don't need to worry about that when you're in the early game. Pretty much just go for these 50 crystal refreshes. Eventually, if you want to start refreshing Cantina, there's also a good argument for doing that. I do it plenty myself. I do pretty much all of my 100 crystal refreshes on Cantina every day, but that's just because I have the crystal allowance to support that. Eventually you can start moving into some of the shipments or stuff like that, but I wouldn't recommend it. Mostly just start out with energy refreshes, as that's going to give you more XP, and also it's going to let you farm more shards, just like you said. And you want to be farming plenty of shards. You want to farm probably one team's worth of characters, or even more a little bit sometimes. And then you want to farm a couple of ships as well. So just being able to have enough energy to do all those battles every day is a pretty huge thing.
I've done that myself, and it's helped so much.
It also helps that you're not wasting your crystals on things that you don't exactly need. Like, these character packs seem tantalizing at the start until you realize that it's much better for you to, I mean, let's say click on this Boss Nass pack. These ones aren't the greatest example, but usually you'll get, you know, between 5 to 7 shards. Sometimes if you're lucky, 10. You can get that easily in 1 to 2 days without like any issue at all, just by doing like 150 crystal refresh, which has saved you like 1250 crystals.
Oh yeah, it's spending your time is better than spending the crystals.
Yes, exactly. And eventually you can use your crystals to sort of shorten that time, but that's more of when you get into the a little bit later game, you know, sort of towards the middle game of SWGOH.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna move us to the next point myself.
Absolutely.
I thought about it. I just unlocked ships, and I'm curious at how all of it works. Still, I'm figuring it out slowly, but it's a lot so far, and I kind of want to know if you got any tips for ships.
Of course. So ships are really interesting. It's a mechanic that not everybody likes in the game, but it is a super essential mechanic, because I mean, to preface, you're a very good way, and your primary way of earning crystals in the early game is going to be your fleet arena. So you need to develop a good fleet in order to get high in your fleet arena, in order to get these crystals that you'll get from 1 to 20, I guess from 1 to 50, top 1 to 50 in your fleet arena. The higher you can get, the higher the crystal output is. 400 a day is insane, especially for newer people, which is why I preach things like getting the Executor. And how fleets work, they are, I mean, they seem complicated at first, but they're a little bit more simple than people would lead you to believe. But you have all of your capital ships. You have obviously certain capital ships that are better than others.
Right.
Sorry, I just hear something in the background. I think it's my dryer going. Anyways, so you have your certain capital ships that are better than others, like Executor, Leviathan, and Profundity, the big three that take a lot longer to get than pretty much any other of the of the capital ships. But you start with a capital ship, and it'll have certain abilities and synergies and stuff that you plug in with your team. And they'll have all sorts of stuff, and they take turns as well. They do have speed, just like every other unit in the game. They do tend to be a little bit slower, but then you have a few of your ships. You can do a maximum of 7 ships per fleet, and you want to try and do it with something that has synergy with that capital ship, i.e. with my Executor. Executor has a lot of bounty hunter synergy, so you want to use your bounty hunter ships. You have only 5 bounty hunter ships, but you do tend to sub in some extra ships, or you honestly don't really need them. Executor is just kind of good enough without them, but you just need your full fleet. Of course, there's a lot of guides out there for what the proper fleets to use with which are, but I'd say your best one to work on early game is going for like Geonosian fleets. Primarily, you're going to want to work on Executrix as well as the Geonosian ships. They're just pretty easy to get, and they do last quite a while in the game, because when you get later in the game, you can use them with Malevolence, and I still use them all the time.
I actually did just recently unlock the ability to gain more stars in the Executrix.
Executrix.
Executrix. I struggle with English.
No worries.
I just unlocked that, and I am loving that ship so far, and I'm using I think TIE fighters with it, and funnily enough, one of the Geonosian ships.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much at the start of the game, you kind of just use, whatever you can get your hands on, but you want to start trying to move a little bit towards synergies you build up later in the game. And then let's go ahead and move on to the next point. Ships are definitely a huge pain point for a lot of people, so just make sure that you're farming whatever ships you need to be farming.
I wanted to bring up mods, but that's a whole part of your channel, so...
Yeah, I mean, I will just plug in a little bit here and just say that mods are super important to how you play the game. They give huge stat boosts to your characters. I mean, let's just look at my Leia Organa here. These blue numbers that you're seeing right here, these are all the bonuses I have from mods. I have an extra 75,000 health on Leia Organa just thanks to mods. They are hugely important. If you're struggling with mods, feel free to either contact me, ask me in the Discord, or just check out some of the videos I've got on my channel. I'm also super happy to make videos on just things in the game that you're struggling with, modding, anything like that that you feel you need for the game. Just let me know. I'm always taking video suggestions. And then we can go ahead and move into the next point here.
That's all I got, my friend.
That's all we got?
I don't know what else. Yeah.
I mean, there's the most important point of all that you're missing here. And that would be have fun. It's a video game. We're not here to do, this, that, and the other. You're not here to sweat off for your guild or anything like that. You're here to have fun. So most importantly, farm what you want to farm. Do whatever you want to do. Play the game how you want to play it. It should be fun for you. If it's not fun for you, then either try to make it fun for you, or, I mean, that's just the best you can do, is just try and make it fun for you in any way you can.
So far, I have been having fun, so I think I'm doing that just fine.
Great. And then also participate in your guild activities too. I'm not dashing on.
Yeah, no, I do have a little bit of problem with that myself. I'm trying to do better.
No worries, no worries. I mean, it really starts when you unlock level 65, so you'll get there soon. Especially with the new boosts to the early game experience. I mean, I've got one of the quests pulled up right here that I can show you. But these quests have been absolutely huge for newer players, like 25,000 XP. I don't know why I'm getting it on my 6.7 million account, but whatever.
Hey, I'll take them. Anything that gives me over 1,000 is going to boost me up so fast, and it's so worth it.
Exactly. It's never been easier to start in SWGOH, so if you are just starting to SWGOH, welcome. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Dral, for hopping in here and chatting about just the early game experience. I feel like it's something that's a little bit undercovered, and especially with content creators, it's hard for us to get a grasp on navigating the early game as a fresh player ourselves, because we've been playing for years and we kind of know what's going on. So regardless of how new our new accounts are, it's nice to have a fresh perspective.
I'm glad to help out with the whole channel. It's been great, my friend. I keep up the good work.
Thank you. And then you keep up the good work as you're on your channel as well. If you're interested in anything that Drowl's doing, like Minecraft or Elden Ring, be sure to check him out. Once again, there will be a link to his channel in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.